Hello everyone, welcome to the part 2 video of past year JEE mains questions from the chapter units, measurements and dimensions. Those who are looking at this video, right, you can also take a look at the part 1 so that you will have the continuity of questions. So we'll start with the question that is come in 2019. This is a question based on the dimensional approach. Speed V, acceleration A and force F are considered as fundamental units. The dimension of Young's modulus will be. So we have to express the Young's modulus in terms of speed, acceleration and force. So if you say that the Young's modulus is proportional to what? Speed power x, acceleration power y and force power z. Then dimensional approach says what? On both sides of the relation we must have the same dimensions. What is this Young's modulus? Already we have discussed this in the part 1 video also, we discussed it. If you have a wire of some length, we apply a force such that we are trying to change the length of the wire. We actually call it as longitudinal deformation. This comes in properties of solids. If the area of cross section is A, then force by area, right, this is what we will be referring as stress. It is like the cause, we apply the stress. As a result of it, if the change in length is delta L, the ratio of change in length by original length, right, this is what we will be referring as strain. So we have stress, we have strain. This is basically the case of longitudinal deformation. The ratio of stress by strain rate is called as modulus of elasticity. In properties of solids, we will see that not only Young's modulus, we will also have other types of modulus of elasticity also. Like we call them as bulk modulus, rigidity modulus. But look at it, so here what is it? Young's modulus, right? What is it? The ratio of stress by strain. If you observe carefully, right, strain will be what? Strain will not have any dimensions. Why? Change in length by original length, right? Length by length, no dimensions. Which means Young's modulus will have the dimensions of the stress. You see what is the dimensions of the stress? Force by area means what? That is nothing but dimensions of the pressure only. What is the dimensions of the pressure? M L power minus 1 T power minus 2. So that will be on our left side. What is it? M L power minus 1 T power minus 2. Right side, speed means what? Whole power x will come. Acceleration means what? L T power minus 2 whole power y will come. Force means what? ML T power minus 2 whole power z will come. Now what is our task here? We have to find what is the value of x, what is the value of y and what is the value of z. See, already I think in some of our previous problems in part 1 video also we have seen. Sometimes we might be able to arrive at the answer without even really solving for all the values. We will see here also. Maybe we can conclude what is the answer by just getting the values of x and y itself. We may not require to calculate the z. We will see. First, shall we aggregate the powers of m? Left side, what is the power of m1? Right side, there is only one term where m is coming, that is what? M power z means the power of m is what? Z. So straight away we are getting the value of z is equal to what? 1. Z is equal to 1 means where is z? The power of f should be 1. So option A cannot be the answer because option A they are saying f power minus 2. Option B also cannot be the answer. It has to be between C and D. Then what do? We will aggregate the powers of L. So L power minus 1 left side. Right side, this is L power x, L power y, L power z. What is it? X plus y plus z, that is equal to what? Minus 1. Already z is equal to 1, right? Take it to the other side, minus 1, one more minus 1 will come. What is it? Minus 2. So x plus y is equal to minus 2. This is our equation 2. Then we will have to equate the powers of t. Left side, what is it? Minus 2. Right side, t is coming here, t power minus 1 whole power x means what? Minus x. T power minus 2 whole power y minus 2y. T power minus 2 whole power z. Now what is there? Already we have the z value, z is equal to what? 1. So if we keep 1 means minus 2 is equal to minus x minus 2y minus 2, minus 2 minus 2 cancel. Take minus common out. Left side, what is it? 0. 0 is equal to minus of x plus 2y. means 0 is equal to x plus 2y, which means what? X is equal to minus 2y. What is the value of x? X is equal to what? Minus 2y. Now we will see if we can use this relation and substitute in the equation 2. Equation 2 is what? Minus 2 is equal to x plus y, right? We will substitute this in the equation 2. Just take it and then substitute. What is it? Minus 2 is equal to what? X plus y. In place of x, what I am going to write? Minus 2y. So minus 2 is equal to minus 2y plus y means minus y, which means what? Y equal to 2. What is y? The power of a. I told you, right? Here also, what is the power of a? It is 2. Already we have to choose between C and D only, right? You can see in C, what is the power of a? They are giving minus 2. So this also cannot be the answer. So we are able to get the answer without even calculating what is the value of x. But anyway, once you get the value of y, right, we have got the value of x also, because what is the x value? Minus 2y. If you get y is equal to 2 means x will be equal to what? Minus 2y means it will be what? Minus 4. You can see what is the power of v? It is what? Minus 4. Okay. So what is this question based upon? It is based upon the dimensional approach to find relation between different quantities. You can see a lot of questions have come on this particular model. Okay. Again, a quantity f is given by f is equal to what? Dimensional approach. F is equal to root of h into c power 5 by capital G, where c is the speed of light, capital G is what? Universal gravitation constant, h is the Planck's constant. What will be the dimensions of f? So meaning what? We have to just go and substitute. Planck's constant, what is the dimension? This is same as the dimensions of the angular momentum. What is it? ml square t power minus 1. C, what is the momentum? Speed of light means speed, right? L t power minus 1. Capital G, universal gravitation constant. This is another standard value. The capital G dimensional formula will be what? M power minus 1 L cube t power minus 2. Some of these standard ones we must be able to remember, so that these kind of questions we will be able to solve easily. Look at this, root of h, as it is we have to substitute m L square t power minus 1 into c power 5 means what? It will be what? L power 5 into t power minus 5 divided by capital G. What is capital G? M power minus 1 L cube t power minus 2. So already there is a m in the numerator, there is a m power minus 1. We take it up means what? It will become m power plus 1. So we will just write it. So already there is a m. One more m will come. When you take the denominator m power minus 1 to numerator, it becomes what? Plus 1. Look at this. L square into L power 5 is what? L power 7. L power 7 by L cube means what? It will be net L power 4 will remain. Then what else is there? So all these things we have calculated. Okay. So these are all we have done. Remaining thing is what? The t values. T power minus 1 into t power minus 5 is what? T power minus 6. So t power minus 6 by t power minus 2 means what? That will be t power minus 4. So t power minus 4. So what is it inside the root? M square L power 4 t power minus 4. Everything root of m square means what? M. Root of L power 4 means what? L square. Root of t power minus 4 means what? T power minus 2. What is this? ml square t power minus 2. So the dimensions of f. What is this ml square t power minus 2? It is the dimensions of work, energy, torque. So all of them, they will have the same dimensions, right? So what is the answer for this? Option B. Nothing. What is it that we did? We have just taken the dimensional formulas of h, c, capital G and then substituted. That's it. Next, one more dimensional approach. See, a lot of questions have come based on the dimension approach. The expression for which in terms of capital G, h and c, the term, which of the term is proportional to what? Time. So we have to find, dimensions wise, which of them will be giving us the time. Okay, so previous problem, right, the expression we were dealing with, the value of f, right, is having the dimensions of energy. Now in this case, it is like the reverse problem. They are not giving us the expression. Previous problem, what is it? They have given us the expression and they have asked what it corresponds to. Now in this case, what is it? They are saying, okay, we want time. For time, which of the expressions will be giving us the dimensional formula of the time? So for that, what we need to do? We need to go to that dimensional approach. So if you say that time is proportional to same as it is. Okay, so what is it that we have? Capital G power x, h power y, and then c power z. It means what? Left side dimensions is what? Just t. Means there is no power of m, there is no power of l. Capital G, what is the dimension formula? M power minus 1, L cube, T power minus 2, whole power x. H means what is it? ML square, T power minus 1, whole power y. C means what? LT power minus 1, whole power z. After this, what is our task? We have to aggregate the powers. Sometimes, right, people can even try and do the substitution approach. Like, if you have the dimensions of capital G, if you have the dimensions of H, if you have the dimensions of C, we can even go for the substitution. We can go to each of the options and try and check which of them is giving us the time. But here, no, we will go by the normal, it's not like you cannot do substitution. You can do substitution also, because sometimes you will see that, that might take lesser time to get the final answer. And even the thing will be the regular dimensional approach, right? You will have to be doubly careful, because first thing is what? Look at it. If I have to aggregate the powers, the power of m is what? Left side 0. That should be equal to right side. What is it? M power minus 1 whole power x means what? Minus x. M power y. So this is my first equation. 0 is equal to what? Minus x plus y means what? X is equal to y. First equation. So the first no area that we have to be careful with is getting these equations, and then we have to solve. So there are actually two chances where we could be going wrong. That way we have to be doubly careful. Okay, then let us talk about the power of L. Power of L is also what? 0, right? Because the dimensions that we are looking at should be in terms of time. Okay, so power of L, let us look at it. Where is L coming? Look at it. L cube whole power x means left side, what is it? 0. L cube whole power x means what? L power 3x. Then this is what? L square whole power y means what? 2y. This is L power z. So 0 is equal to what? 3x plus 2y plus z. Since x is equal to y, right, we can substitute. Put y is equal to x means what? 3x plus another 2x. So what is it? 5x plus z is equal to 0. I can also say what? Z is equal to minus 5x. We can say what? Z is equal to minus 5x. Maybe we can call it as what? Equation 2. So equation 1 is saying what? X is equal to y. Equation 2 is saying what? Z is equal to minus 5x. Now we will come to the third part. What is the third part? Maybe I will write at the top so that we will not have to erase anything. Let everything be in the place. Power of t is what? Left side 1. So 1 is equal to right side. What is the power of t? T power minus 2 whole power x means what? Minus 2x. T power minus 1 whole power y means what? Minus y. This is the t power minus 1 minus z. Now I'll erase this because we don't require it, because we got the equations means we don't require this, right? Now you see what is the thing? The equation, third equation, equation 3 we can call it. Okay, so from the third equation, look at this. In the third equation, right, I can substitute the value of, look at what is the third equation? 1 is equal to minus 2x minus y. But what is y value? X minus z. See, z is equal to 5 minus 5x means minus z means what? Plus 5x. So this is what? Minus 3x plus 5x means 2x. So from here what we will get? X value will be coming as what? Half. Okay. So if x is coming as half, what about the y value? Y is also half, right? And what about the z value? Z is equal to what? Minus 5x means minus 5 by 2. Okay, so let's look at the powers. X is what? Half. Y is what? Y is also half. Z is what? Minus 5 by 2. So these are the values. Now we'll see which of these expressions, because they are not asking us the values, right? They are giving us in terms of the expressions. So we have to see which of the expressions will actually have the power of g as well as power of h as what, half, and power of c must be what, minus 5 by 2. Okay, so let us see how we will be able to express it. How we can express it? This is like what, g power half into h power half c power minus 5 by 2, means we can take it in the denominator. So g power half h power half divided by c power 5 by 2. So what is this? Just look at it. No, gh whole power half divided by c power 5 by 2, means we can write it like what, gh by c power 5 whole power half. Okay, so what is the answer? Option C. Whole power half means what? Root. Power half means what? That is the root, right? Okay, so that's how we will be able to get the answer. Now I said, we can even probably, I'm saying, so if you are good at substitution and checking the answer fast, you might be able to get the answer in a lesser amount of time. Okay, as I said beginning, it's not like we cannot, particularly in these kind of questions, right? We are free to try the substitution approach also. It's not like we can't try. Okay. Next, look at this. The dimensions of B square by 2 mu naught, where B is the magnetic field, mu naught is what? The magnetic permeability of the vacuum. It's a magnetic property of the vacuum. Now, this is again one more question where we will be able to easily solve it if we know the respective formulas. So in plus 2, right, when we study about the magnetism, even in electromagnetic wave chapter, right, we will talk about the energy density. What is it? The energy density in a magnetic field. The value will be B square by 2 mu naught. If there is a magnetic field spread in the vacuum, right, the energy density will be what? B square by 2 mu naught. Similarly, in case of the electric field also, right, the energy density formula will be half into epsilon naught into E square, where epsilon naught will be what? We call it as what? Permittivity. Permittivity of the vacuum, and E will be what? The electric field. So these two formulas we will see when we go to the electromagnetic wave chapter. But I am just giving you so that we will see how we can quickly solve this, provided we have knowledge about the electromagnetic wave chapter. Okay. Now you see how simple it becomes. What is the B square by 2 mu naught means? It is the energy density, right? Energy density means what? Energy by volume. Normally, what do you mean by mass density? Mass by volume, right? Energy density means energy by volume. So energy is what? M L square T power minus 2. Volume is what? LQ. So M L power minus 1. 1 L will be there in the denominator. We take it up. It will become what? Minus 1. Check it. What is it? M L power minus 1 T power minus 2. I mean, you can observe one thing. The power, the dimensional formula for the energy density, right, will be same as the dimensional formula for the pressure, will be same as the dimensional formula for the stress, and also will be same as the dimensional formula for modulus of elasticity. So already in the previous question we talked about the Young's modulus, but other modulus of elasticity also, right, the names I mentioned, rigidity modulus, bulk modulus, they also will have the same dimensions. Okay, see, like this, when you're able to correlate, right, you will be able to not only get command over these question types, but also you will be able to see the relation. It's not like we are doing each and every problem separate. Okay, so here what is the major takeaway? Yes, normally if you know the dimensional formula for B, dimensional formula for mu naught, we can substitute and get it. But if we have the knowledge about that energy density formula concept that we'll see in the electromagnetic wave chapter, we see how easily we will be able to answer this. Even if somebody is asking us what is the dimensional formula for half into epsilon into E square, there also we will get the same answer, right? Why? Because that is the energy density in the case of the electric field distribution. Okay. Another dimensions question. the characteristic distance at which the quantum gravitational effects are significant, that's what we'll be referring to as the Planck's length. I mean, so these are all the things that will probably come if you take up the higher level physics. Okay, but for our plus one plus two physics that we talk about, our focus is mostly on what the classical physics, so to say. But just to give you some idea, right? So Planck's constant will be a very small measurement in terms of the length. So it will be like approximately in the range of 10 power minus 20 times the diameter of the proton. Think about it. Okay, but here to solve this question, all that is not needed. Okay, so there is some distance called as what? Planck's length. This can be determined from a suitable combination of the fundamental constants. What are those? Same, the usual suspects. What are those? Capital G, H and C. Which of the following correctly gives the Planck's length? Means we have to just look at which of the combinations will give us the dimensions of the length. Previously the problem we solved is what? Which of the combination will give us dimensions of time? And one more question we did even before, right? What is it? They gave a combination and asked us the combination will give us which dimension formula, like that. Remember? So that question we got the answer as what? Energy. But here what is the approach? Same dimensional approach. We will say what? Length is proportional to G power X, H power Y, C power Z. Means left side what is it? Power of M will be 0, power of L is 1, power of T is also 0. Right side G dimension formula is what? M power minus 1, L cube, T power minus 2 whole power X. H is what? M L square, T power minus 1 whole power Y. C is what? Speed. Next step is what? Aggregate. Aggregate means we have to take all the powers of M together, all the powers of L together, and then all the powers of T. Then we have to equate the powers on both sides. Look at this. What is the power of M on the left side? 0. Here what is it? M power minus 1 whole power X. Means what? Left side 0, right? Minus X. M power Y. That's it. So again from here what we will get? X is equal to Y will come. So this is our equation 1. What is it? This is our equation 1. Okay. Now I'll tell you one very quick approach. Here itself we can actually conclude the answer without even solving anything. So this is how when you keep practicing a little bit more, right, you will be able to get the command of the MCQ approach or the JE type approach, because we are having 4 options, right? What we should have? X should be equal to Y, means the power of G and power of H both must be same. I don't know what is the value. It may be half, it may be 2, I don't know what is it, but they both must be same. Look at option A. Power of G and power of H are different. G is having a power 2, H is having a power 1. That cannot be. Strike it off. Look at option C. Power of G is half, power of H is 2. Look at option D. Power of G is 1, power of H is 2. So straight away, without even calculating anything, what is the conclusion we can have? Option B is the answer. Okay. So like this, because here you see what is it? GH whole power half means what? What is it? G power half into H power half, right? Both have the same powers. Like this we will be able to conclude the answer without even solving for it. But since we are in the practice stage, right? Okay, so this level of identifying the answers, right? We are not guessing. Don't confuse it with guessing, okay? We are not guessing anything. We have a valid relation. What is it? X should be equal to Y. That's valid. The final answer also we are going to get the same thing. But in the options that are given to us, right? Only in one of the options, that is option B. Only in that option, both the power of G and power of H are coming same. Other things, the powers are coming different. So that is how we are able to conclude what? That the answer must be option B. But nevertheless we will check it also. Power of L is what? 1, left side. Here what is it? L power 3 whole power X, 3X. L power 2 whole power Y, 2Y. L power Z. So this maybe we can substitute Y is equal to X, means what? It will become 2X, means 3X plus 2X is what? 5X. This we can call it as equation 2. Then we will have to Compare the powers of t. Compare the powers of t. What is it? 0. Here what is it? T power minus 2 whole power x minus 2x. T power minus y whole power y minus y. T power minus 1 whole power z minus z. We have only this much space, so we will be erasing some of the things. Okay. So what is it that is there in our hand now? In this equation, right? I'll do one more substitution. Already from equation 1, what is it I have? The value of y is equal to x, right? So here you will put x means what is it? 0 is equal to, what is it? Minus 3x minus z. Means you just take the minus z to the left side, z is equal to what? Minus 3x. This is coming as equation 3. Just to substitute. Take the value, substitute in equation 2. What is the thing that we substitute in place of z? Minus 3x. Substitute and check what is it that we will get. Put minus 3x here. 5x minus 3x is what? 2x. So what you will have is 1 is equal to x means what? X value will be half. X is half means automatically y also is what? Half. But what about z? Minus 3x, right? Means what? It will be minus 3 by 2. So what is the relation we have? G power x means g power half. H power y half. C power z. Z is what? Minus 3 by 2. So minus 3 by 2 means that's it. We got the answer. Now it is just about rearranging it a little bit and then see that no, it is in the same form like what we got in the option B. Okay, so we are just trying to confirm that this is the same form that is there in the option B. Okay, so what is the thing that we have? G power half, h power half, and then c power minus 3 by 2, correct? So check what is it? This is what? G power half, h power half. We'll take it to the denominator, c power 3 by 2. So what is it? Power half means what? Root. So I can just take gh by c cube whole power half means what is it? Either we can call it as gh by c cube whole power half, or we can also write it as what? Gh by c cube whole root 2. But then the thing is, they are giving the option with a power half. That's it. So you see, this question, right? Without even solving for the values of x, y, z, we are able to conclude the answer. So if you are able to get some chances like this, right, that is where you will be able to save the time, isn't it? Because some questions, at least when we are able to save the time, definitely in our, we are having a paper where we have to attempt, now at least we are having option and all that, but at least if you are having a paper of, imagine 25 questions we have to attempt, then obviously there will be some questions which will be a little bit more challenging. The model itself might be a little bit more tricky. For that we will require time, and only when you are able to save some time in questions like this, right, we will be able to have the advantage. Okay, next we have one more question on the dimensional approach. Time t, velocity c, and angular momentum h. See, generally angular momentum means we will represent this with the symbol L, but since L we might confuse this with the dimensional symbol for length, right? That's why they have given it a different notation. They are chosen as the fundamental quantities instead of mass, length and time. Then in terms of these fundamental quantities, right, the dimensions of mass would be, that is the question. See, same approach, right? What is it? If we say that mass is related to what? Time t, t power x, velocity c, power y, angular momentum h, power z. Then dimension wise mass means what? M power 1, L power 0, T power 0. They should be equal to, right side T means T only. C means what? Velocity. L T power minus 1 whole power y. H means angular momentum. Angular momentum, Planck's constant, right? They both have the same dimensions. What is it? ml square T power minus 1. So ml square T power minus 1 whole power z. Now the next step would be to aggregate. Both sides we have to equate the powers of m. Same concept, right? We have been solving these kind of questions already before. What is it? Power of m, there is only one m here. M power z. Here m power 1 means what? 1 equal to z. Straight away we are able to get the z value. Z means what? The power of h. If power of h is coming as 1 means option C is ruled out. Why? look at this, h is given as power minus 1, ruled out. Then let us look at the power of L, 0. Right side, L power y, L power 2z means what? Y plus 2z, but already z is equal to 1, right? Put it. Means what? Y is equal to minus 2. So y is what? Power of c. So b is out, because in b they are saying power of c is what? 2. Now it is only between what? A and D. So like that we can eliminate the options. So the last is what? The power of t, right? So we have to equate the power of t, means we will be able to conclude what is the answer. So see, what is the power of t? Left side it is what? 0. Right side, t power minus 1 whole power y means minus y. This is t power x means x. T power minus 1 whole power z means minus z. Okay, so here x is equal to what? Y plus z. Y is what? Minus 2, z is 1. So minus 2 plus 1 is what? Minus 1, which means what? The t power x means t power will be what? Minus 1. So which is the option? Correct answer is what? Option A. Same concept, like the way we have been doing it. Next we have one more question based on the dimensional approach. A, B, C, D are 4 different physical quantities having different dimensions. Means what? Their dimensions are what? Different. None of them is dimensionless. Means everything is having its dimensions. All are different. But we know the equation AD is equal to, look at what is the equation given to us. AD is equal to C into ln. Ln means what? Log to the base E. This is holding true. From this rate, we will be able to get some information. See, AD is equal to C into any logarithmic function as a whole will be what? Not having any dimensions. Logarithmic function, trigonometric function, exponential function, no dimensions. Means A into D dimension wise will be equal to what? C. A into D dimension wise will be equal to what? C. This is, let's take it as relation 1. Then look at what is there inside the dimensional, inside the logarithmic function. What is it? B into D. Logarithmic functions are defined for what? Numbers. Means B into D should be what? Number is dimensionless, right? So dimension wise B into D should be what? No dimensions. Means what? Dimensions of B should be reciprocal of dimensions of D. Either ways, D will be equal to what? 1 by B, or B is equal to 1 by D. This is our equation 2. So from here we have to conclude which of them is not a meaningful quantity. So we have to conclude which of them is not a meaningful quantity. So here just there is one small, not a typo, this is what? AD whole power 2. It's not A into D square, it is what? AD whole power 2. Okay. So now we will just go one by one. So we will have to check dimensional correctness. C by BD. Okay. So C, BD is what? No dimensions. Means C by BD will be what? Just having the dimensions of C. Minus AD the square. What is AD? C. So C square by C means what? 1 C cancelled. So what we are doing? C minus C. So that is dimensionally correct. Because when you are having an expression, right, the terms of the expression must have the same dimensions, correct? As per the dimensional approach, what is it? If you have expression, principle of homogeneity, the terms of the expression must have the same dimensions. Now we will go and check the B. A square minus B square. B square C square. Okay. So A square minus B square C square. So we have to check whether this is correct as per the dimensions. What is B? 1 by D. So A square minus C square by D square. Okay. Look at this. AD is equal to C means what? A is equal to C by D. So A square and C square by D square, it will have the same dimensions. That is also correct. Now we will go and check the option C. Like that we have to check each and every option and then we can conclude the answer. C is what? A by B minus C. This is what? A by B means A into 1 by B, right? What is 1 by B? D. But already we know AD and C will have the same dimensions, right? So this is also correct. Expression, terms of the expression. Terms means what? Any things that are separated by plus and minus, they are called as what terms? Like, normally what we call as algebraic terms, right? Now, see, if you have done 3 verifications, obviously the answer will be what? 4th one, if you are thorough with it. But we can still check. Here what they are saying, A minus C. Remember what we said? All the 4 are different physical quantities having different dimensions. Means we cannot do A minus C. Because suppose A is length, C is time. Can we subtract time from the length? That's it. Okay. Next we have another question, dimensions approach. In the following, I refers to current and the other symbols have the usual meanings. Means M, L, T, all are the usual dimensions. Choose the option that corresponds to the dimensions of electrical conductivity. See, all these things will come for us in +2 current electricity chapter. But we can still answer this question based on our maybe 10th standard level concept. The electrical resistance rate will be equal to rho into L by A. Rho is what? Resistivity. Resistivity will be 1 by conductivity. Sigma is the symbol that we use. So we want conductivity means take it to the other side. Sigma will be equal to what? L by R into A. L is length, A is the area of cross section. If you have a conducting rod, right, L is the length, A is the area of cross section, R is the resistance. Just dimension wise, right? Because if you calculate the power that is dissipated, power formula is what? I square into R, means power by I square. I is current, that is what is the resistance. So dimension wise, the conductivity is what? L by, in place of R what will keep? Power by I square. I square will go to the numerator. What is it? L into I square by power into area. That's it. So once we get the basic expression right, now it is just about the substitution. This is what is the sigma. Sigma is what? Conductivity. What is the dimension wise? It will be equal to what? Length into current square by power into area. So all we need to do is just substitute. Sigma is what? Length means L. I square current. So current square by power is what? M L square T power minus 3 into area is what? L square. 1L we can cancel. M will go to numerator, becomes minus 1. L and L square is what? L cube. Denominator. Numerator means it will become L power minus 3. Okay. Then what else is there? By now itself we can probably, no, we cannot conclude the answer. Okay. Because you see, M power minus 1, L power minus 3, it is coming in 2 answers. Option A as well as option B. Then look at it. What is the power of T? T power minus 3 is in the denominator. Take it up. Then I square. So what is the correct answer? It is option B. M power minus 1, L power minus 3, T power 3 and I square. Okay. Next we have one more question based on the dimensions approach. If electronic charge E, electron mass M, electronic charge means the basic charge, and speed of light in vacuum C, Planck's constant H are taken as the fundamental quantities, then the permeability of the vacuum can be expressed as, see, permeability of vacuum, right? Even if we have seen in the previous videos also, how do we get the dimensional formula for the permeability of vacuum. So in this question I am not going to repeat it again. So already we know that permeability of vacuum dimensional formula is what? MLT power minus 2, I power minus 2. So we will go with this. The concept is permeability of the vacuum, right, is related to what? The electronic charge E. So I will say E power X, and then mass power Y, and then speed of light C power Z, and then Planck's constant power maybe W. This is the dimension approach, right? Then we will just have to substitute the dimensional formulas. What is it? Left side MLT power minus 2, I power minus 2 is equal to E means what? I into T whole power X. M means M only. C means LT power minus 1 speed power Z. Then h is what? Planck's constant, ml square t power minus 1 whole power w. This is it, right? After this, what we have to do? Once we express it, we have to equate the powers of m, l, t, I on both sides. Then we will get the values of, so what is the task here? To find the values of x, y, z and w. Then we will know what is the relation. See, first thing is that we can look at I comes only in one term. So left side I power is what? Minus 2. Right side what is it? I power x. Straight away we will know what is the value of x. X is equal to what? Minus 2. Then we will compare the power of m. M is 1 here. Right side m is coming here, m power y and also m power w. Means 1 is equal to y plus w. Let us call it as equation 1. Then we will compare the power of L. What is the left side power of L? 1. 1 is equal to right side where all L is coming, L power Z. L power 2W. So Z plus 2W. This is equation 2. Then we will equate the power of T. Left side what is it? Minus 2. Right side what is the power of T? Here we have a T. T power X. Here we have a T. T power minus Z. Here we have a T. T power minus W. So what is it? X minus Z minus W. Already X value we know, minus 2. Minus 2 minus 2 cancel means what? 0 is equal to minus Z minus W, means Z will be equal to minus W. This is equation 3. So what do we have? We have X value. X value straight away we are able to get. What is X value? X is equal to minus 2. Then we have the relation. See, from equation 3 what do we have? Z is equal to minus W, right? We can substitute this. See, we can substitute this in equation 2. What is equation 2? 1 is equal to Z. Z means I will put minus W plus 2W, which means what? W is equal to 1. So already let us just substitute the powers, right? X is minus 2 means the power of E is what? Minus 2. Then now we got W is equal to 1. W is what? The power of H is 1. W is equal to 1 means Z will be what? Z is equal to minus W, right? So it will be minus 1. So power of C is what? Minus 1. I mean, sometimes, right, we can conclude the answer without even finding all the powers. But anyway, here we will just do it. Okay. So then what do we have? Equation 1 is 1 is equal to y plus W, right? W is 1. So 1 is equal to y plus 1 means 1 1 cancels. Y is equal to what? 0. So the power of m will be what? 0. Means that will not come. E power minus 2 means what? 1 by E square. C power minus means what? 1 by C. H power 1. So what is it? H by C into E square. Option C. That is it. I mean, so we have seen quite a number of these dimensions approach questions. We will write the relation expression with the powers as the variables. Then we will try to find out the values of these powers. Okay. Let us look at the next question. This is one more question based on the dimensions. If the capacitance C of a nano capacitor is measured in terms of a unit U, okay, so capacitance unit, it is made by combining electronic charge, Bohr's radius, means what? This is in terms of distance, Planck's constant h and speed of light c. Then we have to tell what is the relation. See, similar thing, capacitance, we have, I mean, various ways of expressing the dimensions of capacitance, but we can relate charge on a capacitor, right, will be equal to capacitance into the voltage. So from here charge by voltage is equal to what? Capacitance. Voltage means work done by charge, so which means what? Charge by work done by charge. Charge will go to the numerator. So what is it? Charge square by work done. So this is what is the dimension wise. That is what is the capacitance. So charge square means what? Charge is current into time, right? So charge square means what? Will be what? I square t square by work done means what? M L square t power minus 2. So overall what is it? M power minus 1 L power minus 2. Already there is a t square. From denominator, if you take the t power minus 2 up means it also becomes t square. So we'll have what? T power 4 and then I square. So this is what is the dimensions of the capacitance. This is the dimensions of the capacitance. Okay. Now we got this. After this, what is the next step? We will have to substitute them in the relation. What is the relation? The capacitance, we'll say capacitance is proportional to what are the quantities? E power x. So here the capacitance, right, they are saying that use the symbol U. Why? Because already they are using the symbol C for the speed of light in vacuum, right? So instead of confusing, we'll use the symbol U for the capacitance. But generally, we will see when we go to the current electricity chapter, right, we'll actually use a capital C for the capacitance. Speed of light is basically small c, but capacitance is generally given by with symbol capital C. But here, since they are saying use U, we'll go with the U. So U is proportional to e power x. Then we have a naught power y, h Planck's constant power z, and then c speed of light power w. This is it. So we'll have to substitute them one by one. So if we substitute them one by one means what happens? E is it power x. A naught is what? Length. H is what? ml square t power minus 1. That is the Planck's constant. C is what? Lt power minus 1. Now left side, what is there? The dimensions of U means power of m is minus 1. Where m is coming in this expression? Only one term m is coming. This is m power z. Means straight away what we will have? Z is equal to minus 1 by comparing the power of m. Like this only we have to proceed. So z is equal to minus 1 means the power of h is what? Minus 1. By looking at this self, power of h is minus 1 means what? In that expression, it should be like 1 by h. You see, here it cannot be because h is coming in the numerator. A cannot be the answer. Similarly, B also cannot be the answer. Why? Because it is coming as h. Sometimes, right, I told you, like, these questions we can get the answer even really not solving for all these variables. So we will be able to arrive at the answer with, even if we are able to find one or two quantities, we will be able to straight away arrive at the answer. Then, there is one more quantity where only once it is coming. So the I is coming only in one term. That is this I power x. Left side, what is the power of I? 2. Means straight away if you equate the powers of I, right, what is it that we will have? X value will be equal to 2. So the power of E should be equal to what? 2. You see in option C and option D, both the places, right, we are still having power of E as 2. So we will not be able to conclude which of them is the correct answer still. So we have to proceed and calculate the others. So we are done with the comparison of the power of m. We are done with the comparison of the power of I also. Now we will just have to compare the powers of L and powers of T. So powers of L, when we want to compare, left side what is it? Minus 2. Right side, what is the power of L? Here we will have a L power y. L power 2 whole power z means what? Y plus 2z. Then there is a L power w means what? W. So here already z value we know. Z is equal to what? Minus 1. So if you put z is equal to minus 1 means it will become what? Minus 2. So y plus w will be equal to 0, which means what? Y is equal to minus w. Then L power comparison also over. So we are getting a relation between what? Y and w after the comparison of power of L. Now we will go for the last one. What is it? The power of T. So if we compare the power of t, left side what is it that we have? We have 4 power of t. Right side t power x. Then we have t power minus 1 whole power z, means what? T power minus z. Then here what we have? T power minus 1 whole power w, means it will be what? T power minus w. So in this, right, x we know what is the value of x? 2. Z we know z is what? Minus 1. So minus of minus 1 means plus 1. So 4 minus 3 is equal to minus w, means what? W is equal to what? Minus 1. So w is minus 1 means what? The power of c is what? Minus 1. W is minus 1 means, what about the y value? Minus of minus 1 means plus 1. So the power of a naught will be what? 1. So which means we will have a e square in the numerator. Then we will have a naught. Power of h is minus 1. Power of c is minus 1, means both of them will go to the denominator. Option D. See, we have seen, always it is the same approach. What is it? We will have to express the relation. Then compare the powers, and then using the solution of equations, we will be able to find what is the value of the unknowns. And all these questions, right, like I think I would have told you, we can even solve it by using the substitution approach. Okay, so if, like, sometimes, even by doing in the substitution approach, we might be able to get the answer in a quicker time. Okay. Next we have one more question, dimensions approach. From the following combinations of the physical constants expressed with their usual symbols. See, some of these symbols, right, as I said, we will get comfort only when we cover those respective chapters. So don't bother too much if we are not really confident when you are trying to solve these questions at the beginning of the +1. The only combination that would have same value in different systems of units. See, what is that? It's a tricky question. Which quantity will have same value in different systems of units? Think and tell me, which one will have the same value in different systems of units? Because remember, what is it that we said in the dimensions approach, right? N1 U1 is equal to N2 U2, like that, isn't it? This is how we will be able to relate the measurement value of a physical quantity from one system to another system. When this N1 and N2 will be same, when this U1 and U2 will be what? No units. Because in two different systems, right, U1 and U2 cannot be the same. When those values can be same, when they are not having any units. Like, say for example, we talk about relative density. Just to give us an idea, mercury, right, the density is 13,600 kg per meter cube. Similarly, water is 1000 kg per meter cube. What is the relative density? 13,600 by relative density means density of the mercury by density of, we are taking the water as the reference. So density of mercury by density of the reference material. What is this? 13.6. Now I will tell you, we will go into the CGS system. The density of mercury is 13.6 gram per cc or gram per centimeter cube. Density of water is 1 gram per cc. If you take the ratio, right, there also what is it? The relative density is what? 13.6 by 1. So relative density, it will not have any unit. So the value will be remaining same in both the system. Whether you say SA system or a CGS or any other system for that matter, the value will remain the same. So that is what they are asking. So which of the expression? So when they give the question, the value will remain same in different system of unit means what? Which of them will have no units? That is the question. Now for this, right, a little bit of understanding of the forces and force expressions will actually help us. Like, if you look at option B, right, we have capital G, mass of electron, and E is the charge of electron. Think of it. If you have two electrons separated by a distance r, the gravitational force between them is given by capital G, mass of electron into mass of electron by r square. This is what we call as the Newton's law of gravitation. So what is this? G into me square by r square. This is the gravitational force. Similarly, because they will have a charge, each electron will have a minus E charge. The electrostatic force, because the like charges they will repel, between them will be given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This formula we will see in plus 2, Coulomb's law. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, charge product value of the charges. We will have to take a modulus. Okay, modulus means we will just take the absolute value, because sometimes charge may be positive, sometimes charge may be negative. Divide by r square. Modulus means nothing. I mean, it's just what absolute value. We have a modulus means only the absolute value will come. So E into E is what? E square. So E square by 4 pi epsilon naught into r square. This is what? The electrostatic force. Both the forces are equal, right? Both the forces are basically what? Equal, which means equate, I mean, in terms of just the dimensions or units. I'm not saying, gravitational force is equal to electrostatic force. Unit wise both are same, which means what? G into me square by r square unit wise is same as what? E square by 4 pi epsilon naught into r square. R square we can cancel it off. Then we will take the G me square to the other side. It will go to the denominator. If we take the G me square to the other side, where it will go? It will go to the denominator. When we take it to the denominator, right, we will see some interesting expression will come. Okay. So you may think, how we are getting the idea of choosing the gravitational force between the two electronic charges and the electrostatic force. Because when you see the charge square and mass square, right, because mass square will come in which formula? Gravitational force formula. Charge square will come in which formula? The electrostatic force formula. That is how we are able to get the idea. Now if you take the G me square to the right side, left side we will just have 1. 1 is equal to E square by 4 pi epsilon naught G into me square. But you see option B, what is it? E square by 2 pi epsilon naught G into me square means what? The 4 we should write it as what? 2 into 2. So 1, 2 we will take to the right. So 2 is equal to what? E square by 2 pi epsilon naught G into me square. Means this entire value E square by 2 pi epsilon naught G into me square by, right, that is numerically equal to what? Just 2. It has no units, no dimensions basically. Okay. Now the thing that we need to keep in mind is no units means definitely no dimensions. And sometimes we will have physical quantities with units, supplementary physical quantities. They will have unit, plane angle radian, solid angle steradian, but they will not have dimensions. Okay. So this point you have to keep in mind. But yeah, what is this? This is just a numerical constant. The value of E square by 2 pi epsilon into GME square by, what is it? It's a numerical constant. So numerical constant value, right? It does not have any unit. So value will remain the same across all the systems. Okay, so what is the answer for this? It is what? Option B. Now if we check the other options, right, we will be seeing that the other options will have some units. So if they are having some unit means what? The value of that measurement will definitely change from one system of measurement to another system of measurement. Okay, so this is how we will be able to solve the questions on the dimensions approach. So in this second part, right, I think most of the questions we have seen are from the dimensions approach. Okay, so keep solving and we will see in the third part.